What time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, he's back from the dead. Your show. Putting it on the map, yeah. Saskatoon. Right next to New York. New York. Yeah, what show, yeah? Your show. What time is it? Your show. Yeah, time to talk some shit, yeah. Your show. Yeah, fun Maggie. Bark, bark, wolf, wolf, who wants a treat, yeah? Keep listening.
I wish I knew the Ja Rule song. I was thinking, baby, I'm not always there when you call. Oh, sorry, didn't see you there. Welcome to the Thursday edition of your show. My name is Gary. I am your host for today, and I have a guest with me right now, and he has to be a real big theme around here is really great dads, taking time just enough to get in here, say hi, and then they go and do dad stuff, and this guy has to do it as well. His name is Kurt Dahl, drummer lawyer from One Bad Son. Give it up for KD!
And just to clarify, I'm not going to go do good dad stuff after. I'm just going to the pub, okay?
Well, hey, you had to say, you said I got to get the kiddos, so if you're taking the pub, I guess that means, unless I just, Julia, if you're watching, that conversation didn't happen. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm great, man. It feels like home, you know?
Ah, KD and me. I guess this would be episode, like what, we say like 700? Should we like pull back the curtain a little bit and let people know that we may or may not have jumped by leaps and bounds every now and then on the count number?
Yeah, I think my guess is that the average person
probably
with moderate math skills knew, but yeah, it was, I would never remember.
Mm-hmm, neither would
so I would just ask you.
Yeah, and then I'd make something up.
Exactly, 700.
There it is. Welcome to episode 700 of KD and me. Now, does it feel any different when we're on camera? Because you're a camera guy. You're aware of how this stuff works. You've done a lot of camera stuff.
I have to have pants on. I have to.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have any on yet. We won't know until we take the Maggie cam. I'm going to keep a little bit of edge there on that one. No, not yet.
No. But yeah, it's a different vibe. But it's also like it's cool. It's like a.
One thing I'm really learning that I really appreciate about all this is we are like the only live show going in town at this time, hey?
Right, for real.
Like, and that feels so cool, and we embrace it because I come from that era where you were told you have to make sure everything's perfect all the time. Go over it this time and this, and take out every breath and take everything out. Around here, we play a little pre-tape. We come back, and I got producers in the host chairs, and they're doing a show talking about religion and politics when we don't do that here. So then I got to yell at Dragon and LB, and turns into a big thing. So that feeling that anything can happen is really, really exciting to be a part of.
Well, I feel like that's what's missing in so many mainstream productions, whether it be radio or TV, whatever. Like, to me, it's way more human and way more exciting. I think people in an inauthentic world, which arguably we live in,
I like that.
People crave authenticity, right? So you want there's like that realness, that liveness, that whatever. Yeah. So I love it.
And that's coming from a lawyer, so you know it's true. I'm pretty sure he's not legally allowed to lie. So just putting that on paper. So speaking of you and Shane and One Bad Son, not that I was really speaking of it, but I was thinking
about it. Yeah.
Always thinking about it. We are getting really, really close to releasing this One Bad Son podcast. This show that we've done a couple tapings already, and I was a part of those, and I honestly mean this when I say it. It blew my mind, and I've done so many interviews with you, and we've talked so many times, and I've never really tapped into that whole side of things because I'm not in your band. I don't know what happens on the road when you're out there, and to have like your right-hand man right there with you talking about all of this stuff, and not just stuff with you and your band, but stuff for all bands and what they go through when they're trying to come up in a country like Canada.
Yeah, that was cool. Honestly, Shane and I chatted afterwards, and
it was amazing.
It was like we never get a chance. Like this, that's the thing with radio. It's like you got 10 seconds to say something, a quick sound bite, and then whatever. But the podcast, realm just lets us dig into the stuff, right? And
you did,
and like get into our history, and like there's so much history and so many things of whatever. And afterwards, we're both like, that was like pretty. It was a total flashback, a total trip down memory lane, and I feel like, like for up and coming bands, I think we're going to cover a lot of stuff that's just really valuable.
That was one of my biggest takeaways. As I got a bunch of buddies in bands around here, And that's not like a humble brag or anything, but guys that are like trying to break through and trying to, go down that road of, man, I don't know if this is the right choice for us or whether we should do this. And you guys just touched on all of that within like this little time frame that we had. And it was so cool. And I'm looking so forward to getting those things released. And I'm just very pumped for you guys.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing. It's like, who would have thought we'd last... This is our 20th year.
20.
It's like it felt like the right time to like do something like this. So, and then you came. And it's like the timing was just
universal signs.
serendipitous.
This whole place came together by just following those universal signs and just following your heart and doing the right thing, and not closing off the idea that what, I bet you KD would like something, because I just randomly called you. I was like, let's go for a coffee. Like, yeah, sure. And we go for a coffee, and then you leave. You're like, bro, this is next level. Like, I am on this. And I was like, that's when I knew I had something with this, and that's what made me go, okay, let's push this further. And so that you were like that motivating factor, because you're sort of that guy where I always bounce a bunch of stuff off you, and you're always honest with me, and you let me know what's going on. And when you said this was a really good idea, I was like, okay, well, we got to make this happen.
Well, hey, I mean, for a second, I was like, I can't tell if Gary's about to like create this thing that's, just going to change the world, or if he's going to completely, just...
lose his mind.
Well, no, not that.
Crash and burn.
No, not that. More just like, but what I always know about you is like, you put your mind, like if you set your mind on something, you go and get it, right? And that's like, look all the stuff. Like look all the stuff you've done already.
Insane.
Like some people just have ideas and then never follow through. Yeah. That's where I was like, no, Gary's got follow through, right? And that's why you're doing this, right? That's why we're here right now, right? It's like, because you had the idea, and I was like, I love the idea, but go out and do it. That's what I say to my kids. Good idea. Go out and do it now. Go complete the task, and a lot of people wouldn't, they just have a cool idea. They wouldn't follow through. So that's all on you, man.
And it's like, really, it's almost like, I call it a spiritual awakening. Like my entire life, just,
love it.
I call it when you lose the big three, when you lose the family, the house, and the job, and you hit the ditch and you're as low as you can possibly go. There's nowhere to go but up, and you look for something to follow, and you look for something to motivate. And I just said, you know what, it's time I finally just man up and chase this dream, because I always want to do something, because everyone always wants to do something like this, like you said, but to actually get out and do it, it's a whole nother level. I needed all the help in the world, including from you, my friend. I know you have to leave here right away. So
I was going to say one thing, just, a great lyric just came to my mind, what you just said. And I can't forget the song. I can't think of the song. But anyways, what the lyric is, when you ain't got nothing, you got nothing to lose. Well, that's Bob Dylan. But like, so you had nothing to lose, right?
Yeah, that's it.
And so that's why you really went for it. So I love that. You could have also turned to like, depressing, darker stuff.
Oh,
you channeled it right into positive.
And again, when you're that low, it's not hard to find all that depressing stuff. So you're trying to get away from it, and you're chasing that light, and the light just guides you towards these different things. So I truly believe I'm a totally different human being now, and it's all for the better, and it's all for people like you. Real quick before you go, we have been talking about this place right here, this incredible studio becoming a band stop for bands coming through Saskatoon in between sound check and showtime, and they got that 3 or 4 hours, where you got to kill time, and we talked about it earlier. Right. I just wanted to let you know that we are starting to move forward with that a little bit, and I've been talking to some bands. So if you hear of any bands coming through, let them know, hey, we got our studio, because it's your studio now, just like it's mine, just like it's theirs. It's all of our studio. So anytime you need to film anything, record anything, bring anyone in, it's always here for you, and I just wanted you to know that.
I love it, man. And honestly, like I feel like, obviously OBS has spent so much time on the road, and it's always
friends been made.
Yeah, and you get to your venue, you finish sound check or whatever, and you're like, where do you go? How do you promote the show? Or what do you want to get away from the venue typically? Like you're going to be in the venue for the next 8 hours, 10 hours. So you want to leave, go do something. This is the place. You want to go somewhere, it's a cool hang.
Yeah. With good people that are all similarly minded. We're all about good things, doing good things. And if you can come by here and do that and promote where you're going next and talk about your band and what you guys are up to, like, it's a win-win for everybody. We just want to help people, man. That's what it's all about.
Could you, and this is maybe a tangent, but could the said bands like strum an acoustic song here?
We are working on not just acoustic. I'm talking about going full-blown, like this Transformer
Have a drum kit over there?
Well, I'm thinking just this whole thing is move it out. Set up right here, got our cameras, and we do a live thing, just like Saturday Night Live. Musical awesome. Guest, one bad son, right here. How fun would that be?
That's so cool. I think that that would take things next level. And again, it's all about just getting the word out for that night, right?
And you want to talk about people that know people. You have been around long enough to make a lot of relationships in music. So if you guys know KD and you want to come through, let us know. He's a part of this now. So, dude, you're going to go be a great dad. We got you only 1 minute after 10, which is pretty good. That would be 4:11. Thank you for everything, as always. I appreciate you, buddy. I love you. And I'll let you know how everything's going with the show, and I'll talk to you a little bit later tonight. Maybe I'll let you know maybe getting back in here for some more recording next week.
For the One Bad Pod.
That's it. One Bad Pod, baby. Give it up for Kirk Dolan, Traveler from One Bad Son. And look at this. We're trying to work on with the live stuff. So now we go back to ISO camera 3, as I call it out, and then I got it right there. Now you can just walk off and no one will see you.
Okay.
Isn't that cool?
You're still going?
Yeah, I'm going. We're going live. We're all good. You head out, man.
Okay.
I love you. Say hi to the
buddy.
family for me, okay?
Okay.
I appreciate you so much. Man, I love you. That's a good dude right there. That's a really good.
Come on.
Well, you know, I know, and it's always fun when it's you and I playing compliment tennis because we're both so similarly minded. We hate getting credit for anything. We just want to help people. So I appreciate that, man. You take care. We'll talk to you very soon. Hey, what about a Maggie Cam? Let's pay some bills here as she looks like she's in a pretty good position. There she is. Welcome to the Maggie Cam. For our good friends over at Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer. Mike, Rochelle, Kirsten, Chris, and Shar. Always happy to help you out in anything. Oh, look at that. She's pooped, man. She's been running all day outside. Great people doing awesome things over at Pet Planet. I also have, if you look to the, I guess, what would that be, stage left of Margaret? You'll see a lovely little plaque from the, is that Chicago Blackhawks, I believe, or Detroit Red Wings, one of them. And that brings me to our next article of business, as that was gifted to me, bestowed upon me. That was the first time I learned what bestowed was. As a very good friend of a lot of us, our main man, Gregory Dubetz, has a birthday today. On May 2nd, he was born in 1983. It was my birthday was a couple days ago. So we'd always have a double birthday bash, Doobie and I. And when he passed away, he left me that, and he left me an incredible Blue Jays base, like a baseball signed by all the Toronto Blue Jays from like the 93 team that I have in my house with Gary's bat, which is a bat I use with the Rhinos that actually just says Gary's bat on it. Everyone else got their actual names. I was like, no, I want Gary's bat on there. So you can just ask for Gary's bat. It was pretty cool. So I got my Doobie baseball there. I got Gary's bat there, and he gave me this picture and he gave me another picture bestowed upon me in his will. And I realized when I woke up this morning, and it was weird because and I guess I was just talking about spirituality and all that stuff. And I had a dream about Doobie. And then, sure enough, it was his birthday. I didn't even know about it. So I said, we better honor my sweet, sweet silky boy. So I got my little Doobie shrine I brought out here. Look at this. I got this thing. That's from his funeral. Isn't that nice? Look how handsome he is. He is such a lady killer, this dude. And it's got the write-up. So this is the full write-up that was in the paper. And I've had this since he passed. So he passed June 11th, 2011. Man, that's so long ago. Now on the back, it talks about all the pallbearers, and there's our name on there, and we got all this stuff. And I got my Doobie newspaper. Look at this. There's a nice article from Devin Haru on there. And that was up. Look at him. He's so happy. That was on one of his last trips. I think that was like his second last one, possibly, when the boys took him go watch some football. And then his last trip was with Johnny Coldboner and Pistol Pete and myself and Doobie, and we went to Paradise Village. And boy, oh boy, did we ever make some stories out there that we can't repeat on this show ever. But you can imagine if a guy like Doobie is on his last trip before he heads up to the big party bus in the sky, we made sure he did it good. So anyways, want to give some love on this day. May 2nd, 1983. Linda gave birth to my beautiful, sweet Silkatron. And we love him so much. So Duran and Linda and Big Greg and everyone, we love you guys. And we're thinking of you on this special birthday. I was actually, there's a clap, yeah. Beautiful. To my dude. I was telling KD before we went on the air here, I was in the hospital here this afternoon making a little visit, and I was on the floor where Doobie spent his last couple months, and we had a sweet setup with pretty much every nook and cranny in that sort of floor. We had a stash for some sort of liquor, and playoffs are on for the NHL, so we go in there and we do our drinking and we do our mourning and all this stuff. Because, man, how old would we have been? 2011 was when he passed away. How old am I now? So it's been 13 years ago. So I'd be like I guess late 20s. Yeah, 29, 28, 29 years. It's a couple 28, 29-year-old boys watching their best friend die. And everyone deals with it in a different way, and you go through it. And man, it was so crazy to me when I walked in there the other day. And then I didn't make it back yesterday, but then I was back there today, and all those memories just flood back of like, well, I remember it'd be like something like this under this thing. It's like, oh, if I lifted that, there'd be a Mickey there, and just a little dick, up you go, and then go deal with your feelings some more, and all that. So it's just, it always blows my mind how you can try so hard to forget about stuff, and then you feel like you have, and you don't even know about it, and then it just shows up. So shout out to my sweet Silky boy as he celebrates his birthday today. Would have been, I guess, 41 years old. Pastor was 28. Yeah, tell your loved ones you love them all the time. That was one of the biggest lessons I learned there. You may have noticed this amazing Uncle Mike's stuff going on as we had him and his all-natural products here yesterday. And he left us a bunch of good stuff that we're going to start giving away. I love this picture. He does all these shoots out at the farm. There he is taking a nice bath in the middle of the field. It's a postcard. Isn't that cool? He's just like, da-da-da, bath in a slough. That's how we do it out there. So we have so many things. So we're working on getting a... what's those called? Like a product code? CCO podcast code. The promo code, that's what it's called. Uncle Mike's going to get us a promo code, so then you can use that when you order some stuff, and we're going to get involved and get some more stuff, because these bags are full. I forgot to give Katie his present. Damn it. I was going to give him a blind present out of the bags. And guess what we're going to do now with each guest that comes by? You just reach in and grab some swag from Uncle Mike, as he just loaded us right up, and we love him so much. And he's another guy that's all about the movement, just like Kurt Dahl. It's all about this movement that we've started of making the world a better place. And when you can surround yourself with guys like that, and you know you're doing the right thing. All right, whew, the feelings. Man, it's so funny. When I think about talking about all this stuff, I start crying when I'm inside. But for some reason, when these cameras are on, it's like an armor. It's like body armor, hey? Like I haven't cried once yet on here, and I cry all the time. So it's really cool how it's like a safety net for me. My man Scoobs, okay, big shout out. I got a text from my boy Scuba. And Scuba, actually, again, one of those guys that I just love. He made the order for this entire building right here. We were in the garage hanging out, and I was like, well, what do you think we need? And he's like, well, we need 2x4s, we need these, we need those, we need that. And he put the order together before Big Boy came in and just put it all up. Like Wreck-It Ralph. And we got this amazing studio and the sound booth and all that. So Scoob's watching. I love you, buddy. You got to come by soon, maybe this weekend. I'd love to see you. We'll talk after the show. But thank you for watching. It is always a pleasure to have you on board. And look what you did, hey? Look at what you did, buddy. He's another one of those guys with a real job. Like, he was hoping to help out a lot more, but he has to, again, pay bills like everyone else involved. So and it's a rain day, so he got to stay home. He's like, it's a rain day, I'll be watching live. So I'm so grateful for you to be watching live, and thank you for. He knew Doobie too. He's got some good Doobie stories. That's good. So hello to him. Mom said they're watching. So hello to Mom and Dad and everyone watching over there. Thank you for being a part of this. Now, I need to make a call out. I got a very, very, very good buddy of mine who is doing something really, really, really cool. And he needs a software developer. A software developer. I said, dude, I got all these guys here, all these technical guys, all my boys. We'll be able to find you a software developer easily. So I reached out to my man, Royal Andrews, who, creates all these things. Hey, Wendy Brooks Media, shout out to her. She's going to be on the show tomorrow with her co-host, Cora, from the Past Our Bedtime podcast. Very, very excited. Love you guys. So Royal Andrews makes all these. He made his debut on the show yesterday, and you got to see him and what he's all about. He's another incredible, incredible dude. He's like, yeah, I know some software developers. And then he got me in touch with them, and then they sort of didn't really go anywhere. I was like, man, now I'm embarrassed. And I was talking to my man, Noah, today, and I was talking to my man, Dragon, on the ones and the twos right now, doing all the mixing and the matching. And they're like, yeah, I don't really know any software developers. So my dude is trying to make an app. Well, he's made it. Everything's ready to go. He just needs a software developer to come and work for him and build this app. So if you are a software developer looking for a nice little gig that will pay very, very well, and I can vouch for it, it'll pay you very well, please hit us up at dufferinave.com. Go for it. Hit it, Dragon. Hit it. I'm right there. dufferinave.com. Yes, look at that. Everything you need. Hit us up. Contact us there. You can just let us know, I'm a software developer. Let's do this. Hook me up. And I can pass you along. And then you can become a part of this. Like, it's a revolutionary, game-changing app and idea that he has. So if you're a software developer, hit us up there. As well, if you're an advertiser, hit us up there. We'll get you started. We got people coming on board. You got some gear you want to show off on the table? Let us know. We'll show you off. Again, we're not in the business of getting rich. No one's getting rich here. We just want to get comfortable while promoting you and getting you comfortable as well. If you're a content creator, let us know. Head to dufferinav.com. We will get you on board. We're looking for shows. We're bringing some in. We got that One Bad podcast coming up. That's going to be a thing. We got a dude podcast coming up once Coach Mazer is better and Brando gets, well, the time needed, which I'm pretty sure we're working on now because all these people have normal jobs. So we have to lock down these days to do this recording. But you got Brando, you got Coach Mazer, 2 regular contributors to this amazing show, and yours truly talking about sports and video games. We actually had a segment. I think it was my favorite segment. We had my two favorite segments from the Dude podcast. One was a game that I called With the Pass, and it was just me asking a question, and if someone didn't want to answer it, they would say, with the pass, and then I hit the button, and it was from Blades of Steel. It would be the Blades of Steel voice going, with the pass! And then we just do that a bunch, and that was fun. And then the other one was where Brando would write wrestling storylines. Because we don't have enough wrestling talk. And Noah, I was just talking to Noah, his dad, Curdy Anderson, is back from doing some camera work at the, I believe it was the SJ playoffs. He was asking about when he's coming on, and I said, next week, we'll get him on for sure. And I asked him what he want to talk about. Then we both started laughing. Like, probably wrestling, right? So we're going to get a little bit more of a wrestling talk here. But on Dude Podcast, we get Brando coming in. And he comes in hot. And he just tells you about these wrestling storylines. Like Viagra on a pole match, which was actually done. So he sort of stole that idea. But all this crazy stuff. And it was one of the funnest things I've ever been a part of. So we are looking forward to that. If you got a show that fits in with what we're doing, or even if it doesn't fit in with what we're doing, let us know, and we will give you the stage. We will promote you. We will push you to that next level as we continue to grow here. Oh, I'm running out of breath. How about those blades? Oh my goodness. Our main man, Croker from Creator Aid. I was thinking about our friends over at Creator Aid and how maybe they should start like making flavors. So put a little bit of Croker and a little bit of Leroy and Leroy together for like a Croker Leroy Creator Aid. It'd be like a new flavor. And then I realized that they're human beings and they're not drinks. So then I said it probably wouldn't work. But they did their parking lot pregame again. And it's so fun to just watch these guys go out and create with these people. And they were at the hangar. They used to play at the Crush Cannon. Now they got the new place, the hangar. And Igor Sidorov, game winner. Man, another overtime game. 3 of the 4 games have gone overtime. You want an actual holy crap series? This is one for you. Every game in this series has gone to overtime, which is sort of unheard of. And Croker sat in this very chair beside me numerous times saying, everyone knows it's going game 7. Everyone knows it's going game 7. As the Warriors won game 3, and then Blades win game 4 with Cito with the G-Dub-G in OT. 5-4 win Blades. Tomorrow night, back at it. I think we'll talk to Croker. We'll see if we can get him in to get us ready. I'm sure he'll be doing a pregame show with Leroy and Leroy again, which will be a lot of fun. So I will holler at our boy and see if we can get him in to get you amped up for Game 5. Again, series tied at 2. All 4 games, well, 3 of the 4 games have gone overtime. SaskTel Center. And the great Matt Young, my boy, CTV Matt Young. I'm going to see if I can get him in studio. It might be hard tomorrow. So if you're watching, brother, it might be hard to get you in, but I'll be in contact with you. He always puts out these really cool sort of like infographics for these games. And he put out the Game 5 one. It says Game 5 for Blade, SaskTel Center, max capacity. They're damn near open up to about 12,000 people there tomorrow. Again, that's how many seats they've opened up. How many are going to be sold? We won't find out until, before. But get out and support your Blades. That's the moral of this story. As Game 5 set to go tomorrow night, SaskTel Center. Series tied at 2. 3 games out of the 4 have gone overtime. Crazy stuff. Oh boy, man, I'm out of breath. See, this is the one thing I've been trying to work on. Back in the radio days, you only do like a 1 or 2 minute break, and then you get to take a breath, and you breathe, and then you sit and you watch, and you look at your commercials going in your songs. You put a song here, you move a song there. You're not doing these long breaks. When I would do news talk radio before I went over to the DJ radio, there you get about 8 or 9 minute segments. You get 4 of those an hour. So you go like 06 to 15, and then, you go 21 to 29, and then you do it again at the bottom of the hour, and that's it. But having to go this long talking, man, I need to do some breathing exercise. Do you know any breathing people? You're a theater guy. You got any breathing techniques I could do? You can come on the mic. It's all good. Talk to me, Dragon. Oh, Noah. Noah, give me a breathing technique to do real quick. Box breathing? Okay, how do you box breathe? No cheating, Dragon. I'm still holding. I'm like Vince Vaughn, still holding on the rings, still holding. Do I breathe out yet? Oh, I guess I gotta breathe out. Oh, okay, here we go. Training with the boys in the booth.
Here's your list, okay?
Lay it on me, bro. Oh, perfect.
Get comfortable.
Okay.
Lie on your back in bed.
Well, I'm
or
not
on the floor with a pillow. So
I'm
we're
in a-
already failing step
I'm in
one.
a chair on a camera. I can't do any of that.
All right, we're gonna skip step one.
Okay,
You're not
skip
gonna
step
get
one.
Peak relaxation.
That's all right.
Okay, breathe in through your nose.
Breathe in through my nose. Here we
Your
go.
belly filled with air.
Oh, this is sort of like those meditation videos I like to listen to before bed.
Should I do it as ASMR?
No, there's no asthmas around here. We don't do that stuff.
All right, breathe out through your nose.
In through my nose and out through my nose?
Yeah, you're not a mouth breather.
No, okay, that's good. Okay, I feel better actually.
Okay, put a hand on your belly and the other one on your chest.
Hold on, don't want to lose my cards. Belly, chest. Okay,
As you breathe in, feel your belly rise.
yeah, it's rising.
As you breathe
It's
out,
like a McCain Rising Crust pizza.
feel your belly lower.
It's lower like my self-esteem after I eat the whole pizza.
Your belly hand should move more than your chest hand.
Okay, I think it's doing that.
3 full deep breaths and listen to the sound your belly makes as it rises and falls.
It sounds hungry. This is working though. This is good. You can do this at home too if you need a breathing exercise to catch your breath. I do feel
For
more
10 to
relaxed.
20 minutes.
Well, we're going to skip that part. As we are going to have a shorter show today. So I'm just going to keep rolling through, but thank you for that. That's a good little, check for the brain and the body, which is something I'm really trying to work on as we try to recreate Gary 4.0, the 4th edition, which is very fun. Sports recap. All right, getting back to it. You got your Bruins. You got your Leafs. Now, this is a series, and the Toronto media gets talked about so much because they are the Toronto media. And they sure love Toronto to the point where they're pushing the narrative that there's no pressure on the Leafs now. No one expects them to win. All the pressure is on the Bruins. It sounds like Coach Montgomery's scared. It sounds like everybody's losing it. They got no flow in Boston. They're trying to literally paint a picture that the Bruins are scared of the Leafs right now. And if that's not the most Toronto media move I've ever heard of, I don't know what is. Because boy, oh boy, could you not be further from the truth. You got a Leafs team I read something online today. I love starting a sentence like that. I read online today, so it must be true, that Austin Matthews tore a meniscus in his knee or something like that when he got folded over by a hit from Charlie McAvoy. And they showed the video. They said, I believe this is where he got hurt and he tore something in his knee. And it shows him folding over. Yeah, he folds over a little bit, knee goes a little bit, but the guy still played after. And they said, ever since this hit, he was a little bit slower, this and that. First off, Austin Matthews is the most overrated hockey player in the history of hockey. I don't care what anyone says. The fact he won an MVP because everyone was so sick of voting for Connor McDavid still keeps me up at night. It still angers me. Oh, goals are so important. Yeah, okay. You're going to give it to a guy who scores a couple more goals than a dude who had the best season of his career in Connor McDavid and who just won it 2 times before that? Yeah, all right. Hey, Steve Nash called. He wants some of that MVP vote back. Another guy who couldn't win a 3rd in a row because there's no way you could put him in the category with Jordan and these guys. Come on. Just vote for real. Stop voting thinking about the past or the future. Vote on what you're supposed to vote for. Anyway, I know this is turning into a big, long speech. But Austin Matthews, he's a jabroni, man. It's the playoffs. Go play. Go play. Play with a broken knee. You know what Bobby Orr did? Played an entire career with broken knees. That's all Bobby Orr did. Yeah. I'd take 1,000,000 Bobby Orrs over one Austin Matthews. Like, this guy is just, ugh. And then you see him whining on the bench with Marner and Nylander, and they're, oh my God, come on, bro, don't cry. And all that's like, dude. So the whole Toronto meeting, and again, this is just one guy's opinion that seen some stuff on the internet, so don't take any of this with any validity at all. When the Toronto media says all the pressure's on Boston because Toronto doesn't have Austin Matthews, who's the greatest player in the history of mankind, it's like, boys, come on. Bruins Leafs going tonight. Did we get you fired up? I feel like I got myself fired up there for this game tonight. Yeah, big time fired up. As I believe puck drops around 5:07. And Bruins leading that best of 7, 3-2. Bruins win tonight. They move on. If they lose, you got a Game 7 going back to Boston. And they're in Toronto. So I'm sure we'll hear a bunch of booing once Boston gets out to a 3 or 4-0 lead. And then you'll see all those Leaf fans throw all their jerseys and hats on the ice in anger. And they'll throw some other stuff, and then they'll start a little riot, and then they'll whine and say, it's because we didn't have Matthews, and all of this stuff we've been hearing about, how all the pressure's on Boston is going to disappear very quickly. And that's just what's going to happen. I don't even think it's going to happen. I legit know it's going to happen because we've seen this before. The Leafs just don't got it. So, hope I'm wrong. I actually do, because I'd love to see a Game 7. But I mean, not all teams can be like the Oilers. I think this is where Mom sends a message saying, oh, Uncle Kev, I love Uncle Kev. Nope, Uncle Kev's my dude. This has nothing to do with Uncle Kev. You're my man. He's my only uncle that watches this show. And I'm trying to get him in this. I got a spot for you, Uncle Kev. You come in here and you defend those Leafs. You come in here, we'll have a nice friendly debate. It'll be fun. Or we can just talk about Star Wars, which I'd much rather do. I think we should start a Star Wars talk. Hey, talking Star Wars with the boys. That'd be fun. Good. I'm going to fire that. And then Uncle Kev, he's the guy that got me into Star Wars, man. So he'd be all over that. So that would be good, too. I'm calling out Uncle Kev. That's quite humorous. Shout out to Cupcake, by the way. Saw him at the hospital as well today. He's looking real good as he gets ready to go on a nice little trip. That's fun. So Bruins looking to move on. Oilers moving on last night. Connor McDavid, 12 points, 1 goal, 11 assists in 5 games. Yeah, you want to talk about MVPs? Like, it just... I get so upset when people use the excuse of, well, he wins every year, so we have to vote for someone different. How dumb does that sound? Could you imagine being like a legitimate voter of an award and saying, yeah, it's the best season he's ever had. Like he's breaking records, he's doing great things, but we already voted for him 2 years in a row, so let's give it to a guy who scored 60 goals. Like, can you imagine sitting there and hearing that? Oh, it gets me going. But Connor and Leo doing their thing, taking care of the Kings. And Pierre-Luc Dubois, oh boy, everyone's already calling for this dude. And Croker and I talked about it the other day. This guy, everywhere he goes, he gets the boot. He's a diva. He does nothing but cause trouble. Went from, Winnipeg to Columbus to L.A., and now they're already talking about getting rid of that guy, and he's not the best team player by the looks of things, the way he's getting thrown around. So we'll see how that all works out. The Kings are out. Oilers are in, and I believe they await the winner of Vegas and Dallas. And Dallas is looking really good. Poor Vegas, after all the complaining everyone did about them juicing the system with that long-term injured reserve and getting Stoner back and Hannafin and all these guys, it might not matter. It might not matter if they get ousted by Dallas. And Dallas is looking really good. Vegas is out to a 2-0 series lead there. And now Dallas is roaring back. So that one will be going on tomorrow as we await. And as well, again, Colorado taking care of Winnipeg. So the West is looking pretty interesting in the NHL. The Blue Jays have an off day today. And that is interesting because tomorrow they have an Apple TV day. So you got no Blue Jays baseball today. If you're still watching, man, oh man. I feel so bad for those guys. Every year, we're like, this is the year. Vladdy's going to go. These guys are going to go. All the pitching's going to go. And then they just go to the pooper. It's like, man, tough to watch. People are calling now for Vladdy to hit like the bottom third of the order. Like, this is Vladdy Guerrero Jr., man. This is the franchise. So if you're looking to get into it tomorrow, they are on Apple TV tomorrow. I don't even know how to watch that. I think a lot of people are like, we don't know how to watch a baseball game on Apple TV, so I guess we just don't get to watch. But They do have the day off today. So, tonight, you got your Oilers. It's going to be a fun one. Tomorrow, got your Blades. It's going to be a fun one. We got KD, who kicked off the show today. As I love when he stops by because he always has so much insight. As we get the One Bad podcast ready to roll out, it's with my main man, Matt's, right now, getting edited. And he's going to let us know once it's ready to go. But I believe we're going to do another recording session next week to get a couple more episodes up and ready to rock. And then we're going to just roll it out. And if you want to be a sponsor of that show or any of our other shows here on the network, just let us know. Head to dufferinave.com, send us an email. If you want to be a content creator with us, you can do that as well. Or if you want to be like these guys, Commander Cookout Podcast, Network Ryan and my man Brando right there. Shout out to Giovanni Pizzeria, who makes those incredible skull caricatures. I love those things. I love Giovanni Pizzeria too, best name in the biz. We're going to be getting them up and going here as we start to build this roster at this magical, incredible place. Shout out to Nickel Plumbing and Heating. I was there today. Kim, my girl Kim over there, was giving me a crash course in how to operate business. So shout out to her. Aquaman Limited, my sweet, sweet brother-in-law. Again, always disappointed that there's not an actual trident holding Aquaman on top of a, waterfall or something cool. But they do stuff with water. They are on board, and we love and appreciate them so, so much. Thank you to you guys. We'll be talking more with them. And these graphics. Denab Finishing, I was talking to Big Boy today. Love him. Best carpentry finisher in the biz right there. He literally built this incredible paperboy set that you see here each and every day when we go live on your show. I want to make sure he gets some love. He's also going to be chasing some world records once we get our Twitch channel up, as almost all of our orders are done, and we are looking ready to get the Twitch going probably next week, which I'm very excited because that All-Star Softball Dusty Diamond record that was set 3 months ago, guess what? You're going down, bro. We did a trial run off camera. We broke it by like 14 minutes, so we're going to crush that record on Twitch, and it's going to be amazing. I mean, we're going to have a world record dance that I'm going to do. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's probably going to involve taking my clothes off. Just saying. I believe you can do that too if you're like sitting beside like a pool or a tub or something. Isn't there like a channel where you can sit beside a pool and you can wear like a bikini? Is that how it works? Is it bad? Am I getting us in trouble? Okay. Never mind. Delete all that. Ooh, Sonder Concrete Services. Love those boys. Finally got the fence they were renting for us here for Maggie. It has been taken down as our friends at Nordic Fencing, who I got to go say hi to Warren over there. We got to get them on board as they got our fence up. And shout out to Metro Fence out in Toronto. Cousin Ron. Everyone there, love you guys. We got the Metro fence going through the Nordic fence setting up here. So we're going to call it a show a little bit early today as we had some guests fall through. And one of the best parts about being live is you can end it whenever you want. So I think we're going to do that right now. If we got Frankie's fingers ready to tickle the ivories and play us out, I'm going to give it a go here. How good was Uncle Mike on the Frankie's fingers yesterday? Remember that? Man, he was like hitting notes. It was incredible. There they are. Oh, I love that. First and foremost, shout out to Von Trask's grandpa, Frankie, who we're recording this, just sitting down and recording this. He's like 94 years old. He just starts playing us out, Frankie. Drummer lawyer from One Bad Son, the great Kurt Dahl, thank you for stopping by today. And we'll be in touch with him as we get set to roll out the One Bad podcast, which is going to be awesome, I can tell you. Absolutely incredible stuff there. To my main man, Dragon, my main man, Noah, who doesn't have a nickname yet. Thank you for getting us on the air and getting us through this incredible live show. Like, we were set up for a pre-tape for it was a half hour before we were set to go, and then everything sort of ran late, and it sort of pushed everything. I told the boys that this is going to be another learning experience, so let's just go with it. And boy, did we ever go with it. You guys were fantastic. Thank you for always being my sexy safety net in there. Really, really appreciate it. Thanks to Maggie for being the greatest dog on earth. As well, thank you to Doobie. Aw, you know Ronnie and Linda and Greg and the rest of the Doobies. It's his birthday today. Look at that beautiful, handsome prince, eh? Let him know happy birthday to the Silkomatic. One of my favoriteest people in the world. Having his birthday May 2nd today. So to Doobie, we got the shrine. I might keep it up for a bit. It's very fun. We love him. That's also a reminder. Hey, make sure you tell everyone you love him, man. If you're wondering why this guy talks about loving people all the time, it's because I lost a guy like this. Just think about that. Remember that. It can happen anyway. I'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. We're going to have the Past Our Bedtime podcast team in the house. And maybe Croker will get us ready with the Blades review. Until then, you have yourself an amazing rest of your Thursday night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care.